So. Dann geht's jetzt hier weiter. Wollen wir mal gucken hier. Ob der schuldig ist oder nicht. Warte mal, falsch. Was denn jetzt? Hallo? Was war ein Einstecken gehabt?
So this is the gun that Leighton was holding when he was caught by the police. It is a Webley revolver, a reliable weapon. It seems as though the shells were not removed from the cylinder.
Ja, da sind die Waffen, die Dings noch drin. Die Kugeln. Zwei Kugeln.
Out of the 6 shells have been fired. There were 2 shots.
Sieht schlecht aus für dich, mein Freund.
These cigarettes are filled with cheap tobacco. Nothing interesting.
Oh. Aber eine Uhr.
A cheap watch, bought with his own money, no doubt.
Also, Revolver. Unterschiedliche Schüsse. Könnte unterschiedliche ja, weil in Wahrheit 3 Schüsse abgefeuert wurden. Zuerst ein einzelner und direkt danach 2 gleichzeitige Schüsse, oder? Und der Unterschied zwischen den 2 Schüssen hören, weil diese an verschiedenen Punkten der Halbstreet abgegeben wurden. Das glaube ich auch. Das ist ja meine Vermutung. Das ist, ich sag, wie noch was? 2 Opfer. Doppelmord. Kenneth, Butler und Brian Vercotti sind Opfer eines Doppelmordes geworden, der von einem einzelnen Täter begangen wurde. Wir haben gerade viele Sachen hier. Erdrückende Beweislast. Die Zeugenaussage und die Tatwaffe deuten klar auf einen möglichen Täter hin. Lightning Chapman. Keine Beute. Das ist schon irgendwie komisch, ne? Dass der keine Beute mitgenommen hat. Der hat die einfach nur abgeknallt und ist abgehauen. Das ist schon irgendwie komisch. Ich soll aber hier Dreieck drücken. Wo denn? Ist ja nicht. Ja, willst du mich verarschen oder was? Hä? Will ich den da machen oder was? Kommt der Doppelmord ja gar nicht mehr in Frage. Ist der Doppelmord ja falsch. Aber... So.
Mr. Holmes? Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
Werden wir den mal verhören und mal gucken.
Good evening, Mr. Chapman.
Who are you? I've got nothing to say. It's all a mistake.
Calm down, Leighton. I have come here to help you. To find out if you truly are innocent, as your younger brother Wiggins has told me.
My brother? You know him? Then that means you're...
Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, blimey. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell you everything.
Tja, was machen wir jetzt mit dem? Was machen wir jetzt mit dem? Erstmal untersuchen, würde ich mal sagen. Oh, der hat aber eine fette Wunde hier. Alter. dicke, fette Narbe, Alter. Vor kurzem geschlagen, Widerstand geleistet. Hitzkopf. Alter. Modischer Schal, städtische Mode, ruhige Arbeit, Büroangestellter. Der hat auch das Tattoo. Das hat der eine Typ doch auch gehabt.
Good. Tell me your account of what happened.
I left my work, and I hurried up to see the fireworks in Whitechapel. I was late, so I decided to cut through Half Moon Street. I saw the first fireworks light up in the sky. I bumped into a constable on a corner before entering Half Moon. Then suddenly, what with all the firework flare, I saw two men. They were both lying flat in the middle of the street. I stopped where I was. I thought about turning back to the police, but as I was thinking of that, I saw a third person. He was leaning over the body that was furthest from me. The second I saw him, he raised his head, and he stared at me. In a flash, I saw his gun, but he made a dash for it instead, and he escaped through Whitechapel Street.
Uh-huh.
So you might still have had time to return to the constable.
I panicked. I didn't know what to do. Anyway, I approached the bodies just to see if they were still alive. I saw that one had blood pumping out of his stomach. He was dying. It was horrible. The second one was already dead. He had a hole in his head. He was holding a gun in his hand though. I took it, and then I followed the third man.
Interesting. Pray, continue.
I turned a corner, and I saw the man standing in the middle of the street. He seemed to be in some sort of panic. And then, Mr. Holmes, something strange happened. I told the police and they laughed at what I said, but I swear to you, my words are true. I started running towards him, but then I was blinded by a flash. It was so bright that I hardly saw anything for a good dozen seconds, but I kept running forward. As I arrived in Whitechapel, I heard a woman screaming, and then I was caught by the police. But there wasn't a trace of that man. Of course, then they found a gun and all that blood. I couldn't see the murderer escaping and all that mess. Perhaps I was still half-blinded at that moment.
A thrilling account, my young man.
Sehr interessant alles, also.
Leighton, are you able to describe the person whom you saw standing in Half Moon Street?
Well, I wasn't able to see his face at all. It was too dark, and he was too far away. I could see his silhouette.
And what about that?
Nothing so special. He was wearing a jacket. He was quite average in size and his weight.
I see. Was there anything else that struck you at the time?
No. But perhaps... It's strange, but I can't remember the sound of his footsteps as he was running away. Perhaps it was because of the fireworks or the surprise of me seeing him.
Leighton, I confess I am puzzled. Why should a young lad like you take a gun from the hands of a dead man and set off in pursuit of a probable killer?
I know. I keep wondering that, but at the time it was like a reflex. A criminal ought to be arrested, and he was armed.
You were willing to risk your life. That was a little foolish, unless you wanted revenge.
No, Mr. Holmes. I was just being brave and stupid.
Das? Nein.
No, Mr. Holmes. I was just being brave and stupid.
Auch nicht. Das gibt's doch nicht. Hä? Bin wieder zu blöd.
No, Mr. Holmes. I was just being brave and stupid.
Ja, viel bleibt nicht mehr.
No, Mr. Holmes. I was just being brave and stupid.
Hä? Insassen? Ich hab doch Insassen gedrückt.
No, Mr. Holmes. I was just being brave and stupid.
Ich will Beschiss. So.
I'm sure that you were, but I believe that you may have recognized one of the victims, Brian Vercotti. You knew that gentleman well, did you not?
However could you know that?
You have a typical tattoo of the Westgate Brotherhood upon your hand. I observed exactly the same mark upon Mr. Vercotti. You came to know him from your sharing a past prison sentence. Am I correct, Mr. Chapman?
Oh, God. You're right, Mr. Holmes.
Would you tell me a little about Brian Vercotti?
We were convicted for a robbery. Once in prison, both of us joined one of these fraternities. During that year, we tried to help each other out, you know?
And you were quite young then, I believe.
Yes, Mr. Holmes, we were. We'd only stolen a pound of meat. After we were released, and when I saw what my little brother had become, I decided to work towards living an honest life.
And Vercotti?
He had a hard time. His sister had died in a Whitechapel dispensary while he was in prison. He had no family anymore. Our paths split. He fell back into crime.
So you lost him?
Yes. And for around 2 years, I heard no news of him at all.
We shall see you soon, young man.
Okay. Alte Bekannte. Nicht? Doch. Für das brutale Verbrechen, das Lightning Chapman in der Half Moon Street vermutlich begangen hat, könnte es ein persönliches Motiv geben. Könnte, Pferdekette. Nee, hätte, Pferdekette. So. Fantasiemann. Die Person, die Lightning Chapman in seiner Aussage beschreibt, entstammt seiner eigenen Fantasie und von seiner eigenen Schuld abzulenken. Ich weiß nicht. Man, das stimmt ja alles hier irgendwie nicht. Ui. Doppelmord. Nein. Der war's nicht. Ich glaub nicht, dass er das war. Was haben wir denn hier noch? Möglicherweise kam es in der Half Moon Street zwischen Kenneth Butler und Brian Vercotti zu einem Schusswechsel. Untersuchen Sie die Leichen und stellen Sie die Schusswechsel nach. Leichen. Die werden ja hier unten sein, wa? So. Also muss ich wieder in die Half Moon Street. Alles sehr komisch hier, aber ist halt jetzt nicht so ein Fall wie jetzt meinetwegen mit dem Zug oder so. Ja, was der zweite Fall gewesen war. Aber ja. So denn. Wenn wir das mal nachstellen.
What's up with you, lad? What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for my brother to be released.
Your brother?
The one that you caught, beat up and imprisoned.
Ah, the murderer.
He ain't killed no one, copper.
Watch your mouth, lad, else you'll be joining that worthless brother of yours.
Aha. Hier, mein Freund. Wer hat zuerst geschossen? Was haben wir denn da?
I am unable to see any higher. I need to find something to lift my lamp.
Doof.
I am unable to see any higher. I need to find something to lift my lamp.
Gegenstand benötigt.
It would be my pleasure to
Mr. Holmes, did you see my...
Ja, ja.
Mr. Turner, you have stated that you remained close by your window after the crime. Is that correct?
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies.
Kann nicht sein. Nee, Mist.
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies.
Da.
That is very interesting, Mr. Turner. Constable Marrow stated that he did not see anyone at the window when he was running through Half Moon Street.
Well, I think Constable Marrow and me, we might have been distracted by the whistles and shouts coming from Whitechapel. We could have missed each other somehow. You understand what I mean? It was a bit of a stressful moment, to tell you the truth, sir.
Allow me to form my own theories, Mr. Turner. Would you mind showing me the view that you had from your window?
Not at all, Mr. Holmes. Please, follow me.
Mr. Turner appears to live very modestly.
Naja, der wohnt, ne?
This fire is dying out. It was last tended to over an hour ago.
Asche. Verbrannte Seiten. Was wurde denn da verbrannt?
The papers are almost entirely burned. I am unable to see what's written here.
Auf der Rückseite? Ja, da sieht man ein bisschen mehr.
These words are illegible. The papers were thrown into the fire just a short while ago.
Ich gucke mich trotzdem mal um. Ist zwar nicht meine Wohnung, aber ist egal.
Mr. Turner was roused from his bed by the sound of gunshots.
Was haben wir denn noch? Bücherregal.
The books on this shelf are in a mess. It looks as though Mr. Turner was trying to find something in a hurry here a short while ago.
Scheint so. Hier ist ein Gehstock. Da ist ein Stück abgebrochen.
A perfect match.
Aha.
So, Mr. Turner broke his stick when it became stuck between the cobblestones. He did not mention that he was so near to the victims.
So, mein Freund. Das ist angelogen.
This kitchen knife is quite sharp.
Gebrauchsspuren. Zerschnittenes Papier. Hier.
There are pieces of shredded paper scattered over the table. This kitchen knife was used to cut the paper.
Du oller Lügenbold, Alter. Ich glaub's ja wohl nicht.
Anything else you would like to...
Na, was denn? Was schon.
So, That's the view Mr. Turner had when he opened the window. The dead body of Kenneth Butler. Brian Vercotti's contorted corpse. Mr. Turner had a perfect view of the crime scene. He saw the bodies clearly, and Leighton Chapman standing over them.
Anything else you would like?
Lass mich mal gucken. Was geben, das eine widersprüchliche Aussage erklärt. Aber was? Das ist die Frage.
Mr. Holmes,
I am unable to see.
Wer ist die hier, was?
I suppose I...
Nee.
This mirror is turned towards Half Moon Street.
Hier gibt's aber sonst nichts, ne?
Locked.
Die Türen sind alle zu. Guck mal bei meinen Sachen, die ich so habe. Hier aber nichts untersuchen. Oh, die Schüsse, wo die hingingen hier. So.
I am
Wo finde ich was? Dass ich das höher anbringen kann. Nutzen.
I'm all.
So, muss ich lang. Das ist jetzt irgendwie sehr bescheiden.
It would be my.
Warum hat der dahin geschossen und der dahin? Aha. Aha. Erst oben, dann den in den Kopf. Und da und dann da. Jo. Das ist das Merkwürdige an der ganzen Geschichte. Warum die an die Decke geschossen haben.
I am unable to see any higher. I need to find something to lift my lamp.
Wo ist meine Lampe hin? Meine Lampe ist weg. Hä? Hab ich die hingestellt? Ja, jetzt habe ich die Lampe wieder. Hä? Warte mal. ist einfach weg. Die backt sich weg. Ist aber sonst auch nichts, ne?
Anything else you would like?
Ja, ja. Ich brauche etwas, dass ich meine Lampe höher kriege. Aber hier in der Wohnung von dem Ollen werde ich wohl nicht finden. Glaube ich zumindest nicht. Da gibt's aber irgendwie nicht. Die habe ich ja beide komplett untersucht.
It would be my pleasure.
Ja. Wie komme ich da hoch? Beziehungsweise da hoch. Hoffe ich nicht. Beide erst nach oben geschossen. Ich brauche einen Gegenstand. Ich habe was gefunden.
This should be useful.